everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today we are setting up for the month of September in my reading journal, and I'm so glad that you're here with me because this is the 9th theme in this year-long theme and it has been really fun to set up. So for each month in 2025, I have been taking you through what is sort of like a reference textbook, because last year we went to 12 different fantasy destinations, and for the year of 2025, I wanted it to feel like we were putting down our findings from that adventure into one big compendium of information. So that is why I named it A Compendium of Magic. And this month we are focusing on something that's slightly different, because for September I wanted to pay homage to 3 books in particular that three different destinations that we went to last year that we haven't really paid a lot of attention to, and that was because a lot of them involved water. So 2 of them are solely around water. One is the Marawati. We were on the ship and sailing over the Indian Sea in the adventures of 𝓤𝓼𝓼. So that is where we were for April last year. And we also went to 𝓤𝓼𝓮𝓵, which is from the Bridge Kingdom by 𝓤𝓼𝓮𝓵. This is a kingdom that's surrounded by deadly waters and are also very good at defending themselves. And I also wanted to add in from Avalon, there was a scene, quite an important scene revolving a lake. So all 3 really came into my mind about making a theme surrounding water. So that is why the month of September has a water theme, and I named it Dark Depths. So I am really happy with this theme. I'm very thrilled that I had no mistakes setting this up, which is a huge win for me. And I also got to return to one of my favorite fonts. I've used this over so many different years in my reading journals and normal journal. It's called Like a Rope, and it literally looks like a rope. And when you finish filling it all in and doing all the rope details, it's just so eye-catching, and it goes really well with this theme. So for this cover page, and like every other cover page, if you're new here, I have a chapter title, I have a reference point for carrying on our theme, and then the title in the font that I'm going to use throughout the entire theme. And then of course we have some decoration. It's not a very decorative heavy cover page, it never is, but I'm really happy with how it is quite appealing to look at when it's all done. I did have some issue with the stamp here. I've been using stamps for the corner designs for the last few months, and unfortunately this one was a bit bent out of shape, so it took a little bit more effort to get it to stick to the page. At first I just have this issue here where half the stamp didn't work, so I had to go through and make sure that I was pressing as hard as possible on the middle and one side just to make sure that it was picking up as much of that design as possible. Sometimes I like to use ink, and other times I like to use the pen set that I am relying on, so the same colors are used on the same pages, and that is what I did here. I am using 3 different pens from my Ohuhu Maui set. I'm obsessed with these pens ever since I got them. They're dual tip. One side has a brush and the other side is fineliner, and I honestly would be lost without them now. They are so handy, and it has definitely increased my ability to write with different colors in this journal. So now that the border is done, all we have to do now is stick on the cover page pictures here, and I went with trying to get the vibe in as much as possible. Obviously I wanted to focus on like what a water travel destination type thing can be. So sometimes when you're in the water, it's not always safe, and generally a lot of fantasy books do rely on the mode of water transport, such as boats, to get to places, and those adventures are not always safe. So I really wanted to try and tie into the fact that water is not always the safest place to be, but equally showing that seafaring adventure. So we've now flipped over into the monthly view, and I am very thrilled to say that the calendar is not messed up for once in the many months that I have been messing it up in some way or form. I'm so relieved that this has come together so well, I counted it 4 times to make sure. I did have the unfortunate issue where for some reason I forgot that I wasn't filming and started sticking down the corner piece of decorative paper up there. But other than that, you're seeing everything else going down onto the page here. And yeah, calendar is firing on 7 boxes, which is thrilling to me across because normally I do 8. And with the arc section off to the side there, we're almost complete with setting up this page here. I've just got some final decoration that I'd like to add down the bottom here. I've got some more of the Pinterest pictures that I have been saving off for this theme. Admittedly, because my theme was kind of vague, like I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know quite how to go about finding it all. I was limited on photos that I felt fit what I was looking for. And so I just had to sort of layer them in places quite strategically. And on this monthly page here, I tried to focus more on the adventure with upon the Marawati. So we've got some ships there. We've also got sort of like a crossover into 𝓤𝓼𝓮𝓷𝓼 because there's a tropical background there as well with the water. So yeah, it makes sense to me. I know it's not going to make sense to everyone, but I'm really happy with how this theme came together. There's only a couple more details to put on this page. At first, I thought I wanted to add some more decoration in this bottom left corner, but after flipping through my very discontinued pack here from Kaisercraft, I think it's called Nautical, I decided that I was going to leave it blank because I've been reading up a storm recently and I know that I'm probably going to need more space than I'm allowing myself for the amount of books I'm reading. I know that I'm running out of space on my current theme down on the monthly view page. So keeping that space open for extra books, and I ended up just going in and putting in my Anko dot marker pen marks for the calendar so I can jot down the days on the calendar as well as the titles of the days of the week. So that is this page almost completed. I do come back to it in a moment and I'll talk about that when it happens. But otherwise, this monthly view is now ready for September and I still cannot believe we're at that point already. I have returned the arcs to this monthly view. It just makes the most sense to me. I know I was using the upcoming section if you've been around for a while, but I wasn't really utilizing it. So I'm liking this layout a lot better. We've now flipped over and on the left hand side I have my readathon for the month, and on the right hand side I have my quotes page, and I will be continuing this quotes page until I get absolutely sick of it, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. I am loving writing down the first line of every book that I pick up, even if I don't finish the book, on this page. It has been such a fun little addition to my monthly spreads. And on the left hand side I am participating in the Readathon Rebellion for the month of September. This is a board game styled readathon, and I'm so impressed by the creators' level of attention and all the effort they've put in getting this sorted for us all. So I will link that video about how this is played below in case you would like to join in. I do know that I'll be posting this quite close to the start of the month, so do know that this may be a little bit out of your reach, but hopefully if you catch it in time and you want to join in and it sounds like something that you would want to support, that you'll get to check that video out. And now that the decoration is basically done, I'm going to leave the rest of this blank because I'm going to be filling this in as the month goes. Definitely need as much space as possible. I've probably gone overkill with how much decorations on the readathon side, because it is probably going to need a little bit more room, but if I have to add in a tip in or something over top of the decoration, I will definitely do that if I need it. But it's always hard to sort of judge how much space you're going to need until you're in the month. Now I flip back and I do go ahead and add on these really thin borders. I'm still in two minds of whether or not they add or subtract to the page. I like the fact that they're cohesive, so they're happening on all the pages except for the reading log, but I'm not sure if they're underwhelming or not, and they're kind of like crooked, so I'm not sure. Now we're on to my functional pages here, and there are 4 sections. There is the TBR, which I have 10 spaces for. There is the book haul section down the bottom of that. On the right hand side, I have prompts, which represents my TBR vending machine game. I have 5 prompts every month. And the library haul, because I have been really utilizing my library and Libby recently, and I've decided that I wanted to go back to tracking it. It's something that I always take off. It's the first one that I'll take off my spreads, and it's also the one that keeps coming back. So it feels right to have it back after having the arcs on this page for the longest time. But like I said, I wasn't using the upcoming section. So bringing back the library hauls and putting library hires and then putting the arcs back on the other page makes so much more sense to me. And this is going to be another one of those pages where it looks really blank right now, but it's going to get filled with so much information. Obviously, once this page is set up, I can now play the TBR vending machine game for September. And I think I'm at the end of all the beads that are in there. There's probably like maybe 8 left in the game. So it'll be interesting to see what I have left. And then I can populate my TBR, because I'll also play 1 round of the board game in time to start the month. So once that's done, this page will really change quite quickly, and hopefully I'll get a good section filled on that library haul, because I'm all about saving money when it comes to books. At the moment, I spent a lot of money last year on books and ended up selling a lot of them, and it kind of made no sense to fill my shelves with so many books that I wasn't going to end up reading or I didn't end up loving. So I'm trying to read books first before buying them, and that's been working out really well for me this year. Final page now is the reading log, and this one is another one where it's set up because it needs to have a lot of information come in during the month, and it's pretty much the same every month. It looks very basic at this point, but again, like I said, it's one of those ones that it needs the information to make it look good. So we have 12 spaces here for 12 different books, and if it's like any other month that I've had the last 2 months, I've had to make an extra page for more books because I've been reading a ton, and I will happily do that for this month as well if I have to, but for now there's just 12 set up there, and we will just have a space down for all the information in each box per book. I did have an issue sticking down this rope decoration. I've been using washi tape up here, which is so much easier to lay, but for some reason I really wanted to go with this rope paper, and unfortunately it just didn't want to lay right at the beginning, and now it's overlaid into the corner of the spine where the pages meet, so it's not been great. I might have to fix that a little bit off camera. But I did go ahead off camera and make the header on some sticker paper so it would be able to fit up there on top of the rope. And once I had it all laying as well as I could get it, I went ahead and cut off the excess and then went back to working on the information that needed to be put in to set this page up. So I always like to have a space at the top for the title of the book, and then I have preset sections for the information that I want to store on here. So every book gets a space to have its author name, the series name, and the page count, dates that I read it, the format, and the genre. So that's what goes into these little blue lines here. And because this whole theme has been mostly monochromatic, I always have one every year where I try to stick to just one color, and this was the one that I wanted to do it on. I went ahead and used the dark blue. I've tried to zoom in and show you the process of that, but to be honest, it's not the greatest footage, is it? So going back out, and that is now all done. The page is almost complete. We're just going to put on some numbers here and finally stick in the 5-star stamp. So other than that, this whole theme is pretty much set up, and there were pretty much no mistakes. So again, like I said at the start of the video, very thrilled with myself. I feel like I should give myself a little gold star for performing well for once, because I've been having a lot of errors recently and it has been getting on my nerves a little bit, and it has made me feel a bit anxious about filming my setups. But here we are in the final flip through, and I'm so glad with how this theme came together. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video with me, and I'll be back with a new one very soon. So until we next meet, I hope you have fun reading or journaling, and I will see you hopefully in another really informative video sometime soon. Bye everyone!